Hello and welcome to Old Lady Plays. I'm Kate, the Old Lady, and this is Advanced Squad Leader. ASL Scenario A, the Guards Counterattack. German, turn 1. That's where we are in turn 1 for the Soviets. We had an abortive attack on the building to the left. Let's start looking at the map so I can show you what we're talking about. We had an abortive attack over here from the left on the German building directly to their south. As you can see, no Russians got into the building, and only the Germans only lost one squad broken. In the center, they're a little more harried because this fella has prisoners and has been deployed into half squads, while the other half squad has the LMG. And we also have a broken squad in the factory in the center for the Germans. We are in the rally phase. Let's make some rally die rolls. In this stack we have one broken squad and a leader. Let's just have a quick peek at who the leader is. Okay, so there's a 9-1 leader in there. The 9-1 leader will get to have an effect. We get a +1 on rally for the +1 to morale for being in a building, and a -1 to the roll for the leader. So on a 9 or less, they should rally. That's not how to do it. This is how to do it. On a 9 or less, they rally. I believe. Nope, they don't, because they're under desperation morale. So we'll fix that, because that's going to come off at the end of this. Okay, there we go. We've had that rally attempt. We have one more for the Germans, and it is up here. So let's see what we've got in that X. We've got no leaders, and we've got 2 broken squads. Only one of them can try and self-rally, and under a DM marker he's not very likely to. But we'll give it a try. And here's our self-rally attempt. That's a 6 + 4 is a 10. Yeah, he's not going to rally with that. So, never mind. But a 6 is in fact the SAN number. The good news is we're in the rally phase, so it doesn't matter. So, yay. We missed out on another SAN activation roll, because it would have been a nasty one with that one rolled as well. Thankful there. Wouldn't be doing to have the snipers coming in and spoiling everything. Hold on a second while I remove this DM marker. Now we have one more self-rally attempt, but it's not their turn, so the Russians can't do that. So they will not be able to rally this turn, and that is the guys up here in G3 on the ground floor. The main reason they can't rally is because that leader is still upstairs. He hasn't moved down to the ground floor yet, so he isn't able to influence their rally attempts. Alright, that's going to do it for the rally phase. Oh, we didn't roll for wind change. Let's roll for wind change. We needed 2 for wind change. We got nothing. No wind change. So let's go on with the prep fire phase. Sorry about that, I rolled the dice by accident. I was trying to move change the size of the dice roller, and it accidentally triggered the dice rolling. I wasn't rolling for anything else or screwing it up. That's why I like to leave the dice on screen at all times, so that you can see that I have still got the same roll that I had last. I haven't re-rolled anything or otherwise tried to intervene on one side or the other. Okay, so I think that there will be some prep fire, because why not? There's no reason not to take it now. I'm going to take a shot from this building, and it will be a multi-hex fire group shooting at the guys in N5. That's N for November 5. Right up here, these 2 squads. And let's have a look at what we've got to fight them. Okay, so here's how they look once we've had a look inside the stacks. So we have 11 firepower from one side and 9 firepower from the other side. Leader is ineffective because he can't direct fire for a multi-hex fire group. But we have got 20 firepower, so let's have a go at 20 firepower and see how things go. We will roll the dice. And we have a 7 on the 20 chart, which is definitely going to be something. I believe it's a 1MC, but hold on a second. Let's go check. So we have our 20 shot against the two guys in N5. It's going to be a 20 plus 3. So let's see what we get out of that. With a 7 plus 3 is 10. And we get that 1MC that I thought it might be. Alright, let's restack things, and then we'll be right back to make sure that we've got this. Take these morale checks. I'll be right there. Okay, we're ready to take the 2 morale checks now. One for the first guy, which will be a 7 or better to try and hold his morale. 4. He's going to hold on to it. That's no problem. The next guy, 7. He's going to make it as well. So actually, oh no, he's not. Because of the 1MC, he's actually going to break. So one of them breaks and the other one does not. So one of the 2 squads is broken and the other one is not. We'll have to deal with him in the rout phase, but that worked out pretty nicely for the Germans there. Any other prep fire? I don't think so, because anything else we do is going to be pretty poor as far as doing much damage without setting off a sniper unnecessarily. That is to say, more damage than the sniper will likely do if we let them take the shot. So I think that's going to do it for prep fire. Alright, let's move on to the movement phase. So, one of the things I am not going to do on this channel is skulking. If you don't know what skulking is, basically, well, the easiest way to do this, to explain this, is to show you how it works. So basically, in the movement phase, I would move, say, these guys and these guys back into L7. Alright? Similarly, I'd move F5 and G6 back into F6. Alright? It's basically a way of getting them off the front line so that they can't be shot at in the defensive fire phase. Alright? And then later on in the advance phase, we would have those troops advance back into their hex. Now, for me, this is kind of a gamey tactic, and it's the sort of thing that wouldn't really happen in World War II tactics, so I don't like it. And that's in no way a judgment on whether you use it or not. It's entirely up to you. It is an optimal strategy, so within the game, it seems perfectly reasonable. There's no rule against it, absolutely. That said, I'm not going to use it, because I think it's unrealistic and I don't like it. So, it's my show. I get to do what I like. So there will be no skulking on this channel. Now, as far as what else we're going to do on this turn, the only movement I can see is that I want to move this leader and his squad and heavy machine gun, I think it's a heavy machine gun, down here, up, and then into L7. So he's going to move here for 1, and then he's going to move onward into there for 2 more. That's a total of 3, and that's all the movement he's going to take for this turn. Alright, defensive fire comes next. There wasn't any defensive fire available in the movement phase because nobody was moving within sight of anybody, so pretty straightforward there. Now, the only thing I think is likely in the movement phase, in the defensive fire phase here, is to shoot at the Germans who didn't skulk in 3 locations, namely this one, and this one. And yes, absolutely, there are advantages to skulking. I totally see that. But it still feels gamey to me, and I don't like it, so we won't be doing that. So they have to take their punishment. Stand up and take it like men. That's the way to go. They will take the 3 units from here, and the 2 squads from here will form a fire group and attack here in F5. It will be a 30 up 3 shot. 30 up 3. That's a pretty heavy duty shot. Let's have a look at what it looks like on the chart. And here's the roll. I'm pretty sure that's a 5 underneath that 4, but it's a 4, it's a 9, I believe. 9 up 3 on the 30 chart is still a 1MC. Alright, so I don't have any way to prove that that's a 5, but I'm pretty sure I saw a 5 under there. There's no way for me to just grab one die and move it, so oh well. That's their shot. It's a 1MC, and a 1MC on that 467 is going to be, he needs a 6 or better to pass it. He got the 6, but he set off the Russian sniper in doing so. So we have our first sniper activation check of the game, and it has gone through. So he has passed the tech. He is pinned. So hold on a second. Let's put a pin marker on him. And having been pinned, he will have his firepower halved in the advancing fire phase, which is going to be a problem for him since he only has 4, and the pin will half it and the advancing fire will half it. And between the 2 of them, that means he's got a whole total of 1 firepower, so he won't be shooting. The other shot that we have is 4 units from G4 here, and they're going to fire straight across the street at the 467 directly in front of them with the machine gun. So let's see what we can do on the 24 up 3. On the 24 up 3. Oh, hang on. Before I take that shot, we have to resolve this sniper. So we have a 2 sniper. Let's put up the chart for the sniper up here. So first we'll roll for where the marker moves to. So red die is the direction, white die is the distance. 3 and 3. So the Soviet marker, it will move to there, and in that stack it will just pin them basically, and we have to do random selection to see which one is the selected person. So let's just see if I've got my random selection die roll set up here. We're doing this in rainbow order, so from the top down it is red, orange, green, blue, violet, and we only have 3 or 2 squads in there. 2 squads in there. Okay? So we have red and orange die that we only have to worry about each. And the red die is the one that gets selected. That's the top squad, so the top squad gets pinned. So the one squad with the machine gun got pinned, the other squad didn't, and they are there with the sniper. So that's going to do it for that set of attacks. Now we have the 24 up 3 shot. from G4 on G6. Okay, we have a 6 with again a sniper activation number. Only this time it's the Russians firing, so it's the German sniper who's going to activate. But first, we have a 6 up 3 on the 24 chart. So let's have a quick peek at the 24 chart. I see a 2MC. So that's pretty good. We're happy with that. 2MC on that German squad. The German squad needs to make a morale check. And let's deal with that, and then we'll go back and deal with the sniper. He fails the morale check. Alright, so the unit has broken. Now we also have to resolve that German sniper. So let's roll direction and distance. Red die is the direction. Direction 4, distance 2. It moves to there, and then picks the nearest Russians. Well, the nearest Russians, there are 3 possibilities. From there, there's the sniper counter, there's the 9-1, and there's the stack of guys. But I think we will go for the 9-1 stack. I get to choose because all of them have the same TEM. So I will choose the stack in J2 to undergo random selection. Here's our random selection roll, and I'll take that roll now. Or a red is 6, so red takes the hit. That's the leader, and he is wounded. So I need a wound roll, or a wound marker. That effectively makes him an 8-0 instead of a 9-1. That's pretty bad. Oh, I have to roll wound severity. Sorry. Here's the wound severity roll. 3, so he is just wounded rather than dead. That's rather nice. I need to check and make sure that's not a leader loss task check. Okay, after checking, no, I don't have to worry about leader loss when he's just wounded, so that's good for the Russians. And that's going to do it for the defensive fire phase. No, actually it's not. One more group will fire. Actually, 2 more groups will fire. Sorry, I meant to say. First, the guy who just got wounded will direct fire from there onto the prisoner's hex. Never mind, he won't fire. I've got fire from 1 more location to go. And that is from M3 on K4. That's going to be a 12-shot up 3. It's not a great chance to do much, but it will put them back under desperation morale, which I think is not a bad thing from our point of view. So, from the Russian point of view, putting the Germans back under desperation morale. If we could do so, which we did not, because we've just rolled a 14, and nothing there is there to break on that 11 roll, so that's okay. And nothing happens to the Germans, so that's okay. I think that's it for the movement phase. Sorry, not movement phase, the defensive fire phase. We now have advancing fire. In the advancing fire phase, do the Germans want to do any advancing fire? I didn't mark who prep fired. But pretty much anybody who could fire has already fired. Anybody who has a target has already fired. Or shouldn't fire. So I think actually there will not be any advancing fire from the Germans. Just an advance. But first, routes. So, routing, first the Germans, it's their turn. G6 routes directly back to F6. No big surprises there. The only other routes we have are the Russians over here in N5. So let's have a peek at them and see what's going to happen. Got one broken there. He's going to move backwards into that hex. So that's it for the route phase. The Russians will move back as noted, and hold on a second, I'm going to put them on the bottom of the stack. Alright, they're still there, they're just at the bottom of the stack now. That's it for the route phase. Move on to the advance phase. Advance, the Germans get to advance. However, there isn't anybody who wants to advance, except these guys here in L7 will advance to M7. There's room there and they will fit nicely, and the leader will allow them to make a nice big fire group, and yes, I'm happy with that. We will move them into M7. That leader advances into K4, and in K4 I've put in a desperation morale marker because they should be under it after having been fired on. So that's going to do it for all of that movement. That's all there is. Let's move on to CC. Have we got anything in close combat? I think we do not, which means that this turn has once again come to an end, which means it's time to pull up my intro screen, which also is my outro screen, and say the things that I say at the end of the episode, which is to say, I hope you've enjoyed it. The Germans have fought back very effectively, and I think are in fine shape to hang on and win this scenario, personally, as the way things look right now. The Russians have not been able to accomplish very much and have lost a few squads already, 2 squads particularly. So it's not looking great for the Soviets, but we'll see. They've got an awful lot of good troops up in that one side, so maybe they'll be able to clear them out of that building, and after that, who knows what'll happen. So that's going to do it for this episode. I hope that you have a great day, and take care.